This is the John Hallett Podcast powered by ClearSky.Training, where we break down what actually works in real-world self-defense and why most training gets it wrong. If you're training with us in Castle Rock, Colorado, this is the thinking behind what we do at Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness. And if you're an instructor or gym owner, this is where we talk about building better training and better systems. All right, Josh, let's get into this one. The moment before violence, what most people miss.
A lot.
Most people think a fight starts with a punch. It doesn't. It starts before that with behavior, with positioning, with small signals most people ignore. The problem isn't that violence is unpredictable. It's that people don't recognize it early enough.
Sure.
Right? That, little things, some guy even just, guys in a bar, just little signals before that they're sending beforehand, glares, glances, pointing at you to their friend. I mean, and they're missing it, like that guy right there.
Yeah. Lots
like,
of
which guy? That, and they're guy, like they'll point right.
Well, with all those signs they're giving, are most violent situations actually predictable?
Yes, if you know what to look for, right? Different people that have been around get really good at picking those out. Like, again, talk about bouncers. They see that stuff before they're really experienced goods, and they shut those things down beforehand, right? They're not waiting for the fight. They're going to shut that down, especially in a reputable place that doesn't want to have like this, fight mentality that like, don't go there, people get beat up. Right. Right. Number one, the interview phase, before violence, there's usually a moment, a setup, someone is testing you, closing distance, watching your reaction.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is also called the interview. Right. Most people fail at it because they don't know what's happening.
They don't even know it's occurring, right? They don't even know they're being asked.
We run that in scenario training, and people let you get on the X. They don't even recognize they're being interviewed.
So what are some common pre-fight interviews?
Changing behaviors, tone, posture, distance, they're focusing entirely on you. They're narrowing in.
That's weird.
Right? I mean, people ignore signals all the time, It's not complicated. It's subtle, sudden changes in tone, right? Just something out, like come in and then just as the bad guy, just changing that tone. It went, a little off, and picking that up, they're getting too close.
That happens.
I'll try to move in, right? And attack people all the time. I'm like, you're in there and you're talking to them. Maybe you give them a little bit of tone and they're still not, and you get even closer and you position yourself for the ambush, right? Hands moving or hiding, that's one idea. I would put my hand behind my back or even just in my pocket.
Pockets, scary enough, let alone behind your back.
Right? Yeah. They're giving you that targeting glance. They're looking at you, They might have repetitive questions. There's tons, you could formulate a list of, easy 25 things, individually, they don't mean much,
but there's usually a bunch
when you start to put them together. They tell a story. Violence leaves clues. People, right, just don't see them. They're not trained in it, and they, glance over it or, he's all right, I'm the problem.
Sure.
I shouldn't feel that way about that person. I'm judging them. You're like, they're giving you signals. Like,
well, that's my ego getting away. And then, so how does my ego pull people into bad situations?
Right. By making them engage when they should disengage. Right. And people are like, I'm right. And you're like, hey, you parked crappy. I didn't.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You got a problem, not me.
I got flipped off at a street here that you've got to take a hard left into, but so many people will cut the lane that's turning left or going straight. They'll cut that, right? Because it's an easier turn, but I'm coming up to that stop line and teenagers, he's cutting it. And I'm not slowing down, running, coming fast and coming to a stop. and he's cutting into my lane, and he like looks at me and flips me off. Okay, because I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm the jerk that you're gonna flip off.
Ego.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure you live in my neighborhood.
Ego combined with arrogance.
You know, I'm not wrong.
Makes things happen. Makes it a strong ego.
Yeah, you know, that's where people lose, not physically, not mentally. Someone says, you know, you're looking, you know, what were you looking at?
Right.
Go ahead.
Hit me.
Yeah.
No challenge.
Yeah. I got like, you got a problem?
Oh, that one's a really common one. People say, you got a problem?
Yeah.
Well, now you do.
Yeah. Now
Now you do.
Do you want a problem? Ask me if I have a problem.
It doesn't sound like I'm de-escalating when I'm going, you got a problem?
Yeah.
You know?
A lot.
I got a lot of them. And now you're one of them.
Yeah. What's that song? I got 99 problems.
But, whoa. Yeah.
We try to keep the show clean, Josh.
I'm trying. That's
Such
why
a
I did it. So when is it too late to de-escalate? Like I've started saying those words. Like I've already I've started a fight essentially, right?
You know, when distance is gone.
Yeah.
You know, and their intent is clear, and people miss that. But you're pretty much on our X, right? You're in the red zone. They are right in hands reach of you, right? Where they can clinch, grab, stab, draw a gun, you know,
do anything.
Choke you, get behind you extremely quick. You know, that's when it's too late. And that's a lot of times where we see people try to de-escalate.
And you're already way behind.
Yeah, it's too
over.
late. You're a step or two behind.
Yeah.
Right? There's a moment when things shift. It's subtle, but once it happens, options disappear.
That moment, yeah.
Distance closes, and it closes fast. You know, their body language change. Now you're reacting, not deciding.
Yeah.
Right? And as Bill says, you're reacting in the best way, right? You want a response, right? Reacting is like crying little kid, right? You're just flailing around, right? You don't have a trained response that you've drilled thousands of times. Where, you know, I tell people, like, how many times as instructors, how many times have you taught, you know, a long gun disarm or something? Even like, how many times have you taught hook and uppercut? Right? It's thousands of times. People think they get things. This is a physical thing.
An afternoon. Yeah, you got to keep
and a mental thing and an emotional thing, and on and on.
Neurological.
And on. You have to train.
Yeah.
This is not something that's just going to magically happen. See our magic podcast.
Yeah, it's a great.
It's not podcast. It's not on the.
It's not magic. It's Krav Maga. Whatever.
I don't even know. It's like, why Krav Maga is a magic. That
was a good title. I like that one.
Yeah, it was probably you that came up with it.
No, well, okay, I'll take it.
You'll take it.
I'll take the credit if you want to give it to me. Like, I accept.
I can't remember, so I'm just going to give it to you. You know, it's really tough.
Yeah.
In here.
So, what should you actually do?
Create space. You know, people are like, I'm going to run away, but you know, in those situations, they shut down. Right? Control the situation. Be calm. And avoid getting pulled into it. Like so many people get pulled into it. You know, this is where awareness really matters. It's not just seeing, but doing something about it. Means adjusting your position, managing the distance, using your voice, right, in a good manner, right? Leaving early, not waiting, not hoping, acting, like even just leaving early. You're in a parking lot. Get a car between you.
I have left.
And get a shopping cart between you. Little things
are huge.
Matter, right? A barricade of something, but people like positioning, right? Distance. Right? We see people miss straight punches all the time.
Yeah,
guys, touch their forehead with your knuckles. You're not going to punch them in the forehead, but it's a nice place to aim.
Yeah,
in there. I had a class Tuesday. Bill was coaching, and he went full Bill on inside defenses. And I said to the class, it was built in, like there was an inside defense built into my drill. We were working all different ranges of combatives just into a little flow of person getting closer to you. And the inside defense one is like, all right, somebody's in punching range and you've got to make your inside defense. And I went to them like, hey, I know most of you are here on Tuesday, and Bill went full Bill on inside defenses. But I'm like, guys, I'm watching you right now. And you know what a big problem is? You're missing. And you're missing left and right. I call it the old Taibo style. You know, like you're cardio kickboxing. You're punching across. You're not even putting your knuckles on their forehead because you don't have intention in your training. I'm like, I intend to put my knuckles on your forehead, right? And maybe I'm going really slow. Like I had somebody, like I went, like touch him in the nose. I'm like, look, I'm gonna touch him in the jaw, but I'm intending to touch him, and that makes a huge difference. God, distance is so hard, and people think it's so easy. I can hear it. You're using your voice. You know, we teach that in little kids class again. One of my favorite age groups.
Use it.
Right. I was saying to the elementary school class, right? Use your voice. Listen to how I'm instructing. Right. And actually, they were doing it. They were leading exercises in there themselves, and they just being a leader saying we're doing push-ups. Like other kids couldn't hear them. They couldn't tell them when to stop or when to go. Like, guys, you're being a leader, and you guys are all being calm. This translates to stay away from me. I don't have a problem. Like, please don't hurt me. Like, use a command voice. It's a coaching voice, not being a little scared mouse. Like, that person's not going to listen to you, and you want other people to hear you. Yeah. Right? It's huge.
Yeah. It's really hard to coach over top of you while you're coaching on the other side of the room. It's like we're constantly battle for loudest coach. Would you win?
Right. And again, to recap, just get yourself out of there. Right. It's not fighting. It's not beating that person up. It's, it's getting out of there and getting back to your family. You got way too much to lose potentially. Like you have a house, you don't want somebody coming after that. You don't want to lose your house because you're fighting a legal battle.
So much to lose.
Most people don't lose fights because they can't fight. They lose because they miss the moment before it started. And once it starts, everything gets harder. The earlier you recognize it, the more options you have. If your training doesn't include this, it's incomplete because self-defense doesn't start with a punch. It starts with awareness. And that's a skill you build. That's exactly what we focus on inside ClearSky.Training. If you want to go deeper on real-world self-defense, decision-making under stress, and responsible firearms training, everything we teach lives at ClearSky.Training. ClearSky is where we break down the thinking behind self-defense, awareness, avoidance, judgment, legality, and decisive action when violence can't be avoided. If you're an instructor or gym owner, this is where we build your system, structure your training, and raise your standard. If you're in Castle Rock, Colorado, and want hands-on training, that philosophy is put into practice at Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness. Thanks for listening to the John Hallett Podcast. Train more, suck less.